The members of the audience are able to ask rude, indignant questions, challenging everything you hold to be true. They can denounce you as a charlatan, scoundrel, dilettante, and unabashed poseur. Sometimes they even launch forth into their own mini-speech, usually unrelated to whatever it was you were talking about. Konnichiwa, and welcome to the Leadership Japan series, and I'm your host in Tokyo, Dr. Greg Story, president of Dale Carnegie Training Japan, and much more importantly, you are a student of leadership, highly motivated to be the best in your business field. If you enjoy the program, then please subscribe on iTunes and leave us a review. We would love to hear what you think about the series. How would you like your own access to 103 years of the accumulated wisdom of Dale Carnegie Training? Get our free report, Stop Wasting Money on Training, How to Get the Best Results from Your Training Budget, plus our free white papers, guidebooks, reports, training videos, blogs, newsletters, course information, plus much, much more at japan.dalecarnegie.com. Today is episode 117, and we are looking at how to end your presentation like a pro. We talked about how to open our presentations in episode 116, so today let's look at how we might end them. It is rare to see a presentation completed well, be it inside the organization to the client or to a larger audience. The energy usually drops away, the voice gradually fades out, and there is no clear signal that this is the end. The narrative arc seems to go missing in action at the final stage, and the subsequent silence becomes strained. It sometimes reminds me of classical music performances when I'm not sure if this is the time to applaud or not. First and last impressions are critical in business and in life. So why leave these to random chance? We need to strategize how we will end, how we will ensure our key messages linger in the minds of the listeners, and how we will have the audience firmly enthralled as our permanent fan base. Endings are critical pieces of the presentation puzzle, and usually that means two endings, not just one. These days, it is rare that we don't go straight into some form of Q&A session once the main body of the talk has been completed. So we need an ending for the presentation just given, and we need another ending after the Q&A. Why the second one? Why not just let it end with the final question? The pro never lets that happen. Even the most knee-quivering, voice-choking, collar-drenching meltdown of a speaker is in 100% control while they have the floor. The audience usually lets them speak without denunciation or persistent interruption. Life changes, though, once we throw the floor open to take questions. At that point, speaker control is out the window and the street fight begins. The members of the audience are able to ask rude, indignant questions, challenging everything you hold to be true. They can denounce you as a charlatan, scoundrel, dilettante, and unabashed poseur. Sometimes they even launch forth into their own mini-speech, usually unrelated to whatever it was you were talking about. Or they move the conversation off to a new place which has nothing to do with your key content. The topic of your talk is now a distant memory. That is why the pros ensure they bring it all back together with a final close to the proceedings. The last word is now with the speaker, not some provocateur who happened to turn up. There are a number of ways of bringing the speech home. In the first close, before the Q&A, we might harken back to something we said in our opening to neatly tie the beginning and end together. Or we might restate the key message we wish to get across. Another alternative is a summary of the key points to refresh everyone's recollection of what we were saying. When we do this, we should be picking out key words to emphasize either by ramping up our vocal power or down to differentiate from the rest of what we are saying. Speaking with the same vocal power throughout just equates the messages together and makes it hard for the audience to buy what we are selling because it is not clear enough. At the end of the final sentence, we need to hit the power button and finish with a rising crescendo to really put the passion behind our position. Many speakers allow their voice to trail off into oblivion. Instead, we need to bring energy to our final words. We then add a small pause and move smoothly into inviting audience Q&A. Don't miss this key point. Always specify the time available for Q&A at the start. Never ever leave it open-ended. Why not? If you are facing a rabid gathering of foes and you want to get out of there, mentioning the time is up allows you to depart with your dignity intact as opposed to looking like a wimp scurrying out the door because you can't take the heat. The second close can be very similar to the first. This is also the point to use a pertinent quotation to leave a rousing call to action in the minds of your audience. Again, the voice rises in strength at the end of the final sentence. When you get the ending right, you can thank your audience, relax, and bask in their warm applause. Action steps from today. 1. Strategize the ending rather than leave it to random chance. 2. Loop back to the beginning, hit the key message again, or summarize some key points. 3. Always nominate a time limit for Q&A. And 4. Prepare 2 closes, one each for before and after Q&A. Thank you for joining the Leadership Japan series. If you found the program useful, then please subscribe on iTunes and leave us a review. Remember, to access your Dale Carnegie training, free reports, white papers, guidebooks, training videos, blogs, newsletters, course information, plus much more, then go to japan.dalecarnegie.com.